What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Maverick Raven coming at you with another video, and we gotta talk about this, y'all. We have to talk about this. This is huge news. I've talked about it before, but we gotta talk about it anyways. We gotta talk about the Trump assassination attempt at the Pennsylvania rally. We gotta talk about it. That's part of the reason why I'm wearing a big old American flag right here. And these guys, they don't sponsor me. I wish they did though. But you guys should check out Warrior 12. The company was started by former, law enforcement and veterans, and every purchase goes towards a good cause, man. Helping veterans get off the streets. It's just a good cause, man. So check them out. We're gonna get into this, but before we do, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. All of that really helps me out, helps the channel grow, and we'd love to have you. The flock is for life. So come fly with us. The air is for everyone, y'all. Now, the assailant is dead. Okay, Thomas Matthew Crooks. Crooks. We'll get into that, but I think his name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. The assailant is dead. There's a bystander that was killed, and two others are critically injured that they might not make it. So we gotta pray for them, dude. We have to pray for all of them. And the assailant fired several shots at former President Donald Trump during a rally on July 13th, piercing the former president's right ear, killing a man in the stands, and critically injuring two others. This happens because of the mainstream media. Number one, I guess. You guys kick up everything into such a fervor that the only answer is, oh, now I gotta kill this guy. That's exactly what this lunatic Thomas Matthew Crooks was thinking. Because he got kicked up into a fervor, and he became a fanatic. And he did what fanatics do, which is die for a cause. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know why everybody's acting all surprised. I don't know why, we have to pretend like it's not the left's fault or the mainstream media's fault. It's the left's fault. We've got freaking Democratic candidates and Democratic politicians. They're already saying, well, Donald Trump is the devil, and so it's hard to have sympathy for the devil, this and that. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? This man was shot, dude, with an AR. This is ridiculous. The former president was airlifted to a nearby hospital and was in good health. His jet departed Pennsylvania minutes before midnight, according to a flight tracking website. A video posted later by one of his press aides shows the former president walking down the stairs to the tarmac in New Jersey. Secret Service personnel killed the attacker seconds after he fired a rifle from a nearby rooftop. The FBI has since identified the suspect as Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20, of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, about 1 hour's drive from the rally grounds in Butler to the north. The assassination attempt, the first such attack against a president or presidential candidate since 1981, occurred days prior to the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, where the GOP plans to formally nominate former President Trump to challenge President Joe Biden in this year's presidential election. I'm just going to say another thing, and this isn't like a conspiracy or anything, but 6 out of the last 7 assassination attempts have all been on Republicans. What does that tell you? Because to me, it tells me that Republicans are the ones that are just trying to talk it over, while the left is just trying to destroy us. They're trying to kill us. And I'm not trying to kick up a fervor of anti-left sentiment or whatever. That should be normal. We should always be against the left, because the left is off the chain and they're crazy. But this right here should be condemned wholly by the left and the right. But I don't see it. On the left, it's like, oh yeah, this is bad, but, and it's like, no, homie, no, there's no but here, okay? What happened was bad. So don't give me a qualifier or tell me, oh, this and no, I don't want to hear it. I don't think anybody wants to hear it. It was also the latest in an unprecedented polarized campaign season that featured 4 indictments and a conviction for former President Donald Trump, the conviction of the sitting president's son, Hunter Biden, and most recently a campaign by some in the Democratic Party to push President Biden out as leader of the Democrats in the 2024 race. I'm not even thinking about the election right now, man. I'm thinking about how poor President Donald Trump is going to survive until then, man. Like, obviously, he's protected by people, but when you're targeted by so many, It's scary, dude. It's scary. Not long after the chaos erupted in Butler, warm wishes poured forth from friends and opponents at home and abroad. Former Presidents George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama said they relieved that former President Trump was safe and condemned the attack. President Biden issued a written statement, and briefly addressed the nation from Delaware. The president later spoke to his predecessor, according to the White House. There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. Yeah. President Biden said at the emergency briefing room in Rehoboth, Delaware. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Rehoboth. If anybody's from there, I apologize. It's a different name. It's one of the reasons we have to unite this country, he said. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. Yeah, bro, but you're at fault, dude. You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem, Biden. Sorry, not sorry. The leaders of the United Kingdom, Canada, India, and Israel, among many others, also wrote messages of support. Mr. Trudeau said he was sickened by the shooting. It's crazy. It cannot be overstated. Political violence is never acceptable. He wrote, "My thoughts are with former President Trump, those at the event, and all Americans." Yeah, and what about his poor family who had to deal with this crap? Poor Baron Trump. Hey, Daddy, you're gone. You're not gonna be able to see me like usual now because you have to take care of that big ass hole in your ear. It's crazy, bro. It's absolutely insane. Ecuador's youngest ever president, Daniel Noboa, posted, "What has happened today in the United States is unacceptable. This is a critical example of what we are exposed to every day." Yes, that's exactly my point, bro. That's exactly my point. The former president's supporters and Republicans in Congress began to question the security arrangements for the event as more information surfaced about the assassin's location. The shooter was able to crawl on top of a roof in plain sight of several eyewitnesses who said they had alerted law enforcement personnel minutes before the shots were fired. Yeah, I saw those videos. The guy's name was Greg Smith. He had the crazy hair and like a visor that said "Make America Great Again." But yeah, man, like people were pointing it out and nothing happened. And I know that everyone's jumping on top of the Secret Service, and I'm gonna jump on top of the Secret Service too, because what the hell happened, you guys? You guys dropped the ball majorly. You guys dropped the ball like majorly. Like who is gonna leave roofs unattended? The guy got a good shot because he got on a roof. And whoever is saying, "Oh, this guy, blah blah," it was staged or whatever, bro. You know what, dude? No. Let's not go down that road, because this was obviously not staged. Okay, this was so obviously not staged. The guy got up on the roof with an AR from about 450 feet out, and he was still able to hit Donald Trump in the ear. He was probably aiming for the head, And at that time, Donald Trump just happened to go whoa, and it went whoop. But he still had amazing aim because he was endangered. Donald Trump was endangered, so he did what he wanted to do. He came out to kill Donald Trump. He almost did. So at what point do we recognize that? And at what point do we go, "Yo, Secret Service, what the hell happened?" I had a direct line of sight directly to the back side of that roof, and I saw a guy crawling up the roof, bear crawling up the roof. Yeah, I heard this video. I have no idea what bear crawling is. It says he was bear crawling up the roof with a rifle. Mr. Smith told the Epic Times he and his party saw Secret Service agents and tried to get their attention. "We could see them looking at us. I stood there for about 1 minute or 2 minutes pointing at the guy on the roof," Mr. Smith said. "And the police were running around, down and around the bottom of the building, and we were like, 'Hey man, there was a guy on the roof with a rifle.' And the police were just running around. I don't know what they were doing, and the next thing you know, the guy crawled up to the peak and took about 4 shots. I don't know how many shots it was exactly. That's what we saw." Kevin Rojek, the special agent in charge of the FBI Pittsburgh field office, told reporters that the Bureau's current assessment was that security personnel were unaware of the man on the roof until he began firing his rifle. That's great. He could have killed him. He could have killed him. It's just that Donald Trump got super lucky, but the guy could have killed him. Like, I don't understand why we're talking like this isn't a big deal, bro. Like, it's not good enough, okay? It's just not good enough. It is surprising that the assailant was able to fire as many rounds as he did, Mr. Rojek said. House Speaker Mike Johnson vowed that Congress will conduct a full investigation. I want a Warren Commission. I want something like the Warren Commission. That's what I want. House Oversight Chairman James Comer called on Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle to appear at a hearing. Senator Josh Hawley called on the Senate Homeland Security Committee to launch its own investigation. Thank you. Launch it. Launch it, because this is bull, bro. During a press conference that started shortly before midnight, officials confirmed that law enforcement officers were responding to several reports of suspicious activity in the minutes leading up to the shooting. They referred questions about whether and how the roof was secured to the Secret Service, which did not send a representative to answer questions from the press. Yeah, how could you, I guess. At this point, Secret Service is doing their damage control, I suppose. Because how you know that the press is going to have questions, so you should have sent a representative to take them. The FBI will lead the investigation into attempted assassination. Oh, great! They might have been the ones that hired the guy to do it. While state agencies will have domain over the killing of the bystander and the critical wounding of 2 others. In the hours following the shooting, social media was flooded with images from the attack, which was being live streamed. In one photo, the former president, bloodied and surrounded by Secret Service agents, raises the defiant fist toward the audience, taking the time to let them know he was A-OK. As Secret Service agents worked to move the former president off stage. Another photographer captured the long blur of a brass-colored bullet streaking through the air by the former president's head. God protected President Trump, Senator Marco Rubio, who was one of the top contenders for the vice presidential nomination run next. Yeah, no, he did. He did. Because remember, everything happens because God allows it. So, something was there that God didn't want Trump to die, I guess. We'll see. It's all very scary. The Trump campaign and the Republican National Convention confirmed in a statement that former President Donald Trump will appear in person at the Republican National Convention, which kicks off in 2 days in Milwaukee on Monday, July 15th. So let me get this straight. Because I want to paint a picture for all of you guys. And if you're watching this and you hate watching me, this would be the time to cut and edit what I say. President Biden can't make it upstairs. But President Trump gets shot and he says to the bullet, I'm a real man, dude. I'm gonna go to that RNC on Monday. It's just 2 days away. I'm there. That's a man, bro. That's a leader. And that's what we need in the White House right now. And that's why I'm so adamant about this. Because I know that this is the man for the job. A real warrior type. And that's what we need. We need somebody who's going to punch our enemies in the nose, leave them bloody, and going, hey, what's up? Did you think things were going to be different? This is America. But, bro, it's all bad, bro. It's all bad. This should have never happened. Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas said on X that his agency, which oversees the Secret Service, is engaged with President Biden, former President Trump, and their campaigns, and are taking every possible measure to ensure their safety and concern. Yeah, I'm sure. Trump supporter Aaron Audenrieth, 66 of Pittsburgh, was seated in the front row directly in front of former President Trump when the shots rang out. She said she saw a little bit of blood on his left cheek. Well, it would have been on his right cheek because it was his right. So I don't know. She told the Epic Times, then when he turned his face the other way, she saw blood running down the right side. That's what happened. Maybe he went like that and then went like that, or, whatever. Or maybe she's just hallucinating. Who knows? Then when he turned his face the other way, she saw blood running down the right side. She said she felt relieved when he pumped his fist. Tom Shiv, a Butler resident, told the Epic Times that he initially thought there were fireworks going off before he realized that shots had been fired. It was shocking. It was ugly. Just too ugly to be true. He told the Epic Times as men in tactical gear ran past him. Logan Reynolds, 27 of Erie, Pennsylvania, was at the very back of the crowd. When the shots rang out, there was an initial moment of uncertainty, but then, he said, a sea of people turned away from the stage and faced him. I saw over 1,000 faces of terror in one instant, he told the Epic Times. Mr. Reynolds said the shooting made him sad, then angry, but said he felt better after hearing news reports that former President Trump had given a fist pump after getting up from behind the podium. Mr. Reynolds says he gathered a few people together on a bridge to wave Trump flags at passing motorists to bolster morale. That's a good idea, man. It's a good idea. The shooter represented someone trying to take away the right for us to vote for who we want. Yeah, he told the Epic Times. That person was undermining our republic and our democracy. Yeah. Yep. No lies detected, bro. Mr. Reynolds said both he and his younger brother had a funny feeling about the area later identified as a spot where the gunman had positioned himself, as there were too few security guards back there. Why wasn't that building completely locked down, and why wasn't a sniper on every roof? Yeah. You know, when the former president is having a rally, that's not the time to be short on personnel. That's not the time to be worried about labor and your, you know, whether or not you're going over budget or whatever. Don't worry about that. That's not important. We need to protect the president, and everybody should be on board with that. It's sad that we're not. State officials did not immediately name the victims of the attack to afford relatives time to contact with their extended families. Excuse me. Rep Ronnie Jackson from Texas, a White House physician during the Trump administration, said a bullet grazed his nephew's neck at the Trump rally. Oh my gosh. His nephew was in an area designated for friends and family to the right of former President Donald Trump. Mr. Jackson said on Fox's Hannity show Saturday night. Mr. Jackson said that someone 4 or 5 rows behind his nephew was critically injured. The shooting happened about 90 seconds after the crowd chanted, "Thank you, Trump," in response to Trump saying he could have been living a life of leisure on an island somewhere, but felt obligated to run for president and help the nation. Yeah. In a message to his supporters posted on Truth Social, the former president said he was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear, he said. I knew immediately that something was wrong in that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through my skin. Much bleeding took place, so then I realized what was happening. God bless America. Guys, I don't know where we go from here. I don't. But things gotta change, man. And Republicans, conservatives are easy targets because we typically don't fight back. But if you keep doing stuff like this to us, you're kind of making it, number one, you're making it obvious that you don't care. Number two, you're making it obvious that you kind of want it to happen. And number three, you're only going to make a civil war happen. That's the only thing that's going to, you know, that's the only thing that I can see coming from this. And it's not because I want it to happen, because I don't. I want to keep living my comfortable American life. But the reality is that, what do you think conservatives are going to do? They're going to wild out. They're going to wild out, man. And I'm not going to blame them. I'm not. Because like I said, 6 out of the last 7 presidential assassination attempts or assassinations, 6 out of 7 of them were Republican. That's crazy. That's crazy. But it just goes to show you that we're not the bigots. We're not the Hitler Party. We're not authoritarians. We're not any of that. But that's enough for that. I think I made my point. Love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Appreciate it. And as always, stay safe. Stay based.